I'm in my dining room today where I usually do most of my private readings. These readings are timeless, and whenever you come across this reading and make a connection with your loved ones, it's meant to be. There is a little boy who is coming through. I say little, but I'm not quite sure about it, as he's showing me a whole story of how his life would have gone if he lived through this. And he possibly might have. He might have lived into his teenage years, because that's what I'm seeing in the story. And I believe that's what happened. I think his life was cut very short. I'm seeing my scythe symbol. I usually have a scythe, which would be in my cards, and I'm seeing that same sort of symbol, which means that it was a very quick ending, meaning that actually it was quite painless. I do think that he passed through an accident. It could be a car accident, but what I'm actually seeing is more of a motorcycle or a quad. I don't even really know what quads are. So that word just came to me, but that's what I'm feeling, driving like almost like this dirt bike type um, machinery. And he may have passed with an accident through that or something very similar. If he didn't, he was definitely into motorcycles, dirt bikes in particular, and just basically the outdoors and going fast. I'm seeing dirt roads, dirt bikes, going fast. He had this love of the fast life, if you will, right from childhood. I'm seeing right at the handle, which represents you. I'm seeing that's how close he is, and I'm seeing my symbol of him as a little boy. Funny, do you want to know my symbol for a little boy? It's a dinosaur. So he's showing me this little dinosaur, and the dinosaur symbol for me is a boyish energy. It doesn't have to be a boy, but this is what I'm feeling. It's like a boisterous energy. He's always got to have something going on. He's always wanting to go faster. He wants to see big things. He wants to see big trucks, big trains in particular. When he was very young, he really was obsessed with choo choo trains. I will show you the symbol of the choo choo train in my cup, and I'll show it up in the video here. And you'll see there are three trains. There is the engine in the front. Is that what it is? An engine in the front? I believe so. And it's got two other cars on it, and he is flying on the back. He is like holding on for dear life, but loving it. Okay, so I just want you to know that when he did pass, remember that feeling of when he was a young and wondrous, wonder-like child who just wanted to go fast and thought that that was the most fun thing in the world. That's how his passing went. I know this sounds like a very funny feeling to convey to you, but that's what he wants me to get across, is that that was almost an exhilarating experience for him, knowing that we are on earth and we haven't experienced that yet, and he's just wanting to get that across on how amazing it was. He actually floated up to the sky like quite quickly. So I shouldn't call it floating up, but he was in awe. He was like had his arms up like this, and I could just see his eyes so excited and his mouth wide open and with a huge smile on his face and taking it all in. He was experiencing that as if he was going to a train museum or a museum with all of these exciting locomotives and airplanes and fast things. So just know that he really did enjoy that trip, if you will. I'm seeing the letter M in teacups. You can always switch that around and it would be a letter W upside down. I'm seeing two instances of the letter M. One is bigger than the other. Some other symbols I'm seeing for him Around the cup, I'm seeing a couple of athletic symbols, which is for me an Under Armour symbol. You know the logo on someone's t-shirt? It's the Under Armour symbol. And I'm seeing it around the cup at a couple different places. I feel like in the accident, something might have punctured one of his lungs or something punctured in his chest area near his lungs, and that might have meant for a quick passing. If he did grow up through teenhood, I can see him doing a whole bunch of kind of risky things in life. Cliff diving. If he didn't do that, he would have loved to have done that. I see jumping off of rock faces into the water and enjoying it. Like the words Yahoo, the word Yahoo is coming out here. I see him in a lineup with friends, and they are going one by one and jumping into the water, not knowing what dangers lied below. Like they didn't check to see what kind of danger there was. So he did actually, go through a few different times where he might have put his life at risk. So he's basically saying boys will be boys. And although I don't agree with that, but that's what he's kind of getting at here. When I say that it looks like he was risking his life with jumping into the water off of these rocks, I'm seeing a shark down below waiting for these boys to jump into the water. Maybe not just boys either, it could be girls as well, but just a row of kids ready to do this. There's a shark below waiting to get them, and there's an exclamation mark, and that is just a sign like, oh, that was pretty dangerous what he did, but that's how he lived, and he wants you to know that that's how he loved to live. That was him. And he didn't think of any consequences that might happen. He just thoroughly enjoyed life. I know a lot of us, when we're younger, we feel like we're invincible and that nothing will go wrong, and that's the way he felt. He was also a swimmer, and I'm seeing him as a very strong swimmer, doing the front crawl and quite athletic. He might have been quite competitive with his dirt biking or quad biking. Is that a thing? I don't know. I've never done that myself. When he was dirt biking, there may have been times where it was quite dangerous too. I'm seeing a lot of cliffs in here. When I think of the cliffs and a young energy like this, I think of the Fool card in the tarot. So someone who is that very young person, not really too worried about what's ahead, and just here for all of the experiences. It's basically the beginning of someone's story, the hero's journey, if you will. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. But that's really how he felt, like he was experiencing life that way and gaining experience while he was going through all of these really interesting and fun, adventurous times. I'm even seeing the Fool's wand that he carries with the little backpack tied to the wand. And really, he did have everything that he needed. You gave him everything that he needed, all of the tools that could have, brought him through life. So it's a sign to not blame yourself about it. He was who he was, and he was his own person. I mentioned that he was a swimmer. I can also see someone kayaking. I'm not sure if that's him or if he's swimming and someone is kayaking or canoeing right beside him. A lot of these symbols represent cottage life to me, so it could be something very similar or someone who lived near or on the water or enjoyed a lot of summertime activities on the water. I keep reiterating this, but I'm seeing more daredevil activity here. Him on very short skis or a snowboard. It looks to me like skis, but they seem short, and it's almost like he's doing tricks on them. with his hands up in the air. Just speed guy for sure. He's quite funny too. He had a very good sense of humor, and as I see that, I see him winking, so giving this impish look or devilish look, if you will. I'm seeing a clock as he flies up into heaven, or whatever you want to call it. He knew it was his time to go. I'll definitely show it up in the screen. You'll see this clock. It's got all it's got the 12, it's got the 3, the 6, and the 9, and it has some notches in between. Like he was called. It was his time to go, and he knew it. So maybe that's partly why everything just seems so easy for him and fun and exciting and another adventure. It's because he kind of knew that this was coming, and he was prepared for it, even if he never talked about it. Did he pass around noon? Or is there something to do with the time of 12 o'clock? Is that something very important to you? That's just a note. There's a little arrow pointing towards the 12. I do see him now as an angel, but I have to tell you, his wings are quite, I can't even describe them, but they're quite ragged. They are very skinny. They're wind blown. He has put them through the test. That's how I'm seeing that. He's flying high, almost like a bat. It's almost like he has bat wings, like superhero bat wings, but he's, still doing the same things where he is, and he is enjoying himself just as much. But this time there is no worry that he will get hurt. So there's no pain, there are no accidents where he is, and he can fully enjoy himself, and he wants you to know that. He does pop in from time to time, and that is usually at the holidays, and Easter's coming up, so I'm seeing a little bunny here, and you will feel him around Easter time. He doesn't want you to be sad, but he fully understands that of course you will. He's very empathetic, so he does understand how hard and difficult it was on you. But it is so bright where he is that he really only feels that warmth all around him, and that white, beautiful, bright light that we've all heard so much about. So just know that he is fine, and he is thanking you for being such great parents around him and for letting him be who he was. Thank you for being with me here, and if you've made a connection today, then I hope you have felt his very bright, bright energy, and I hope you know that he is watching over you and loves you, and will see you again soon, far in the future. Thank you very much. Good night.